Jamaica now has access to $790 million under its precautionary standby agreement with the International Monetary Fund, IMF. This after meeting all quantitative targets and structural benchmarks set by the multilateral institution. The targets were met during the second two-week review of the country's performance under the three-year precautionary standby arrangement. At Thursday's IMF closing ceremony, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said sticking to the agreement shows the island's unwavering resolve in its economic reform agenda.
We have many successes of which we can be proud of. However, much remains to be done. Now is the time to recommit ourselves to the task at hand, the task of ensuring that we secure for future generations a Jamaica that is economically independent and can one day be a net contributor to the international community.
The Prime Minister dispatched Attorney General Marlene Malahoo Fort to the Norman Manley International Airport to welcome representatives from another multilateral institution this past week. From September 14 to 15, the island hosted executive directors of the World Bank. The representatives of the bank were carrying out field visits of the programs they sponsor on the island. The programs include economic reform, public sector transformation, and disaster risk reduction and management.
Though it is early in the implementation of the first zone, the signs for peace and transformation of Mount Salem are positive. This is the first step, and it will yield tremendous benefits for Jamaica and all Jamaicans.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness updating the nation on the first 10 days of activities in the Mount Salem Zone of Special Operations. In Parliament Tuesday, Mr. Holness said the Joint Police and Military Command in the zone had so far met its operational outcomes and accountability procedures. The Prime Minister said 2 wanted men have been arrested and 5 illegal guns and ammunition recovered. Lead sheets used in lottery scamming were also seized. In the meantime, Mr. Holness said community members accessed 1,400 services during a 2-day community services fair in the area.
In the provision of civil documentation, 258 persons applied for birth certificates, 72 persons applied for TRN numbers, and 41 persons applied for NIS numbers. In terms of the provision of health, 237 persons were examined by general practitioners. 470 persons received dental services, and 156 persons received optical services.
Mr. Holness said 43 persons were registered by Heart Trust, 11 under the Hope Apprenticeship Program, and 13 persons received call center placements at the fair. Additionally, 55 persons were registered for benefits under the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH, and 46 persons applied for their food handlers permits. And community engagement activities continued in the Mount Salem Zone of Special Operations this past week. Community meetings have been held with discussions centering on jobs, development, and social intervention. The National Works Agency has also reserved funds to address roads, drainage, and beautification needs of the community. Mr. Holness added that the National Water Commission and the National Energy Solutions Limited have also visited the zone to work with residents to regularize electricity and water connections. Sanitation of the zone is also being addressed.
I've had discussions with the Minister of Local Government and with the head of the NSWMA, and a program will be put in place very shortly to clean up the community, to take up all the garbage that is in the community.
Let me express the sincere hope that our meetings here will serve to strengthen and deepen our relationship and bilateral partnerships.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness expressing Jamaica's unwavering commitment to bolstering its friendship with the People's Republic of China. Mr. Holness gave the assurance during Monday's one-day official visit of State Councillor and Director of the Central Foreign Affairs Office in China, His Excellency Dr. Yang Jieshi. The visit marked the 45th anniversary of Jamaica-China relations. During a courtesy call, Prime Minister Holness thanked China for providing assistance in infrastructure, investment, and technical expertise in Jamaica's development. And in bilateral discussions, Mr. Holness reaffirmed the island's commitment to its Framework Cooperation Agreement for production capacity with China. He said greater partnership is anticipated in trade in the manufacturing, agriculture and bauxite sectors. Persons traversing the Junction Main Road, which links St. Andrew to eastern parishes, will soon have a smoother and shorter travel time. On Friday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness signed a $626 million contract to carry out repair works on 18.4 kilometers of roadway from Toms River to Agwalta Vale in St. Mary. The project, to be financed by the government, will be done in phases, with the first phase covering 4.8 kilometers of roadway from Agwalta Vale to Broadgate. The roadwork is expected to begin in October and will last for 14 months.
This is only a portion of the government's financial commitment to the parish of St. Mary since the start of this fiscal year. We have pumped well over $1 billion through infrastructure works in St. Mary since April 2017.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness welcomed several visitors to Jamaica House this past week. On Wednesday, he met with the chairman and vice president of Zim Integrated Shipping Services. Thursday saw the Prime Minister convening another meeting of the Partnership Council. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us again next time for more of the news coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.